Hello everyone and welcome back once again to Gary Grigsby's War in the East with another episode of Disaster at Stalingrad, or, well, the Stalingrad to Berlin campaign, as you might want to call it, but for now there's no going to Berlin just yet, as the initiative is still ours. Anyway, let's get started, and I did say I want to go and encircle these guys. Now, one other thing that I want to go and start doing is cutting the rail line down here. If there's still even a slight chance that I might be able to clear out the units around here. I don't think I can get to Sochi. Fine. But, every tiny little bit of chance that I have. Oh, it's such a shame nothing can go in here. Hey. Still. Whoop. There we go. And it also means I'm gonna close in on whatever units they have around here so that it doesn't escape now. I think though I'm gonna put this part of the mountain division here and also take that loose hex. Now it takes 4 to move one part, so technically I could go here and then here, I think. Which technically is worse in terms of action points, but it is better in terms of the hexes that I take from this. And I also think this is clear, sucks, okay. Alright, I'm gonna destroy the depot. There we go. Get you back on the other side of the river. I guess, yeah. Let's get the Bergman Ostmaden regiment over into this hex. And one, two, three. Let's see. Because I'm gonna move quite a bit of units around too. Let's start by getting this part in here. I want to send the entire 5th Corps to shift over to the other side. Sure, it's pretty rough walking around, but I do feel, well, like I'm also gonna move units over to that side. As I said, I don't want them to go and cut this rail line here. Gonna send the Romanians further up too. I got fire separate infantry regiment. Basically, let's see, this is rough. I'm gonna give up Cherkask, go to the other side of the river. And since I'm gonna put some Romanians in here, I'll put the 4th Radfar separate infantry regiment over on this side. and I'll put the 1st Romanian Mountain Division in Maykop. I'll pull out the 19th Romanian Infantry Division, which is also under the Mountain Romanian Corps. And let's also send it to Maykop for the moment. And I have plenty of corps there, so let's send this one up here and this one in here. Let's see if it needs refitting still. No, it does not. Let's put it to ready. Let's take a look at these mountain units. They're actually... I'm gonna keep the 19th Romanian Infantry Division in refit, but definitely not the 1st Romanian Mountain Division, since it's at 86. It doesn't need to. These ones neither. And the Mountain Division in Armavir doesn't need to either. These guys are going to help with mopping up the remaining Soviets in this little pocket over here, and then they're going to go up to this here rough hex as I'm... After all of this retreating, I'm finally going to try and start making my stand over here. I have a few more units from the 16th Army, or at least I've been able to dislodge all the Romanians and send them over to this side, and the 5th Corps. I will now be able to poise a defense against the Soviets mounting an offensive over in here. They might come under attack, but we'll see. For the moment, I also want to create a depot in here. Let's turn these to 2. And let's send... I don't need to send it to Krasnodar. I don't own Tuapse. Let's send it to Temryuk, which serves no purpose. Well, actually, that part of the Luftwaffe Field Division can go and dig in. So maybe at some point that'll be useful, and then if I need to send it to Tuapse at some point, I guess it will. 72, wow, okay. I'm actually fairly surprised that they're above 70 TOE, but I'm not one to complain here. This is 90, huh. Okay, well, I guess most of these should be doing quite fine. Interestingly enough, they're not even at 100% combat readiness. I mean, they're getting 16 per turn or so, I think. That's pretty weird. Those are level 1 fortifications. Once I've dished out good generals, I might get some dig in or some fortification units, but that I definitely don't have the AP to spare here at this moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. They could technically move up 1 hex, but I don't think so. Okay, I'm gonna retreat here, and I actually, let's see, I can do this, then this to take all of those hexes, and I'm gonna move back here, but I don't think I can attack it this turn. I'm also gonna surround whatever unit they have in there and then move over this side. I'm sure, well, it's very likely that they'll get attacked, but this is just about I'll have 10 left. Okay. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. If they have a unit in here, which they obviously do. Crap. Okay, so they have units in that area. I cannot take Argizir as it is. So let's move these guys into Elista. Historically, the Germans lost Elista on the 31st of December, so I'm loath to give it up yet. It's actually pretty interesting that it took the Soviets so long to take these territories as well. I mean, in this game, they're poised to take it much earlier. Which also goes for show that they didn't really care about those territories, but yeah. As I said, this is basically a bit of a mobile defense with the Romanian cavalry. I don't want to say it's expendable. That's not really the case, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most certainly it it is a mobile defense. I'll clear those forward elements. There's even a tank corps in there, but it's been, I think, continuously surrounded for so long that it has given up, I guess. Let's see. If I move in here, I can still do a hard attack, so I wouldn't mind doing that. Okay. Probably 666. Okay. 6,666. That's wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll move it back and forth just to take that there hex, but I don't think this unit is going to be much of a problem, but I'll use the cavalry here. Alright. Talking about well, actually there's one thing I want to do. Is one of my subscribers said that there's a unit in the Carpathian Mountains, and yes there is. It's the 1st Hungarian Light Division. I completely forgot about it, or I didn't see it either way. I don't remember in which episode it was said, but I want to send it to the front, obviously. So I better do it now while I'm remembering. I do have the rail line to Kastornu, so let's just send it to Kursk for the moment, and then I'll send it through this rail line over to the rest of the Hungarian units. Secondly, I needed to go and take a look at the oil reserves. I keep forgetting about these things. I just get into playing, and then let's just quickly go over this because I'm quite sure I haven't done anything last time here. Victory point 674. Initiative is ours. High watermark was 675. Sun victory points, we need 750. Total men, well, like for the Soviets it's been going down, so that's good. Total guns, also down by about 10k for the Soviets. We're up by a modest 800. AFVs, we're going up. We lost a lot of tanks, but okay. Soviets down a little bit. Total aircraft, yeah. Manpower losses for the Soviets. Over the last few turns, it's been, well, let's see, 180, 250, 450, 700,000 ish. So that's a lot, almost 750,000 men. Gun losses for the Soviets close to 14,000 or 13.5, I guess. Aircraft AFV losses for the Soviets near 3,000. 4,000 if you take all there's 4,000 tanks lost in 1.5 months. That's sick. Aircraft losses, and the rest is not super interesting there. Fuel stores plus pool. They've doubled, but I would say they're empty. My oil stores are about as empty as they were before. Yeah, I don't know what this requested is, I guess, but oil turns into fuel and our oil reserves are exhausted. I think we might not have enough capabilities of transferring oil into fuel, and that's why this is going up slightly. I think that's the reason. So this is going up by about 5,500, and I think the reason for that is, one, the MyCop is being repaired, and two, I think we do not have enough factories to turn oil into fuel. And then we do have, well, we've sent as much fuel as we created each turn, basically. So from here, I know this is technically not really working very well, but basically this is how I would read it. So our oil stores increase by a little bit because we cannot turn more oil into fuel, and then our fuel stores are staying like this because we send all the we send as much fuel to the front as we produce from the oil, but we cannot send more because of the logistics, etc., etc. So that, I think that's basically how it is. As for supplies, they are increasing. Resource stores remain the same. Manpower pool is going up slightly, which means that we can, you know, get some more units. Interestingly enough, for the Soviets, it went up by a lot here. About 150,000, 3rd of December. I wonder if they actually got those units because we got closer to Moscow again. I'm not sure, maybe, but it's been going down a little bit steadily there. All right. That's basically all that I wanted to show off for the moment. Yeah. All right. Next, I have the 9th Luftwaffe Field Division. You see, there are a few places where I feel... What I'll do here is, if I send these up here, get them off the train, can I move them into Bukukar? Yes, I can. So I think that I can get this Luftwaffe Field Division in there. Together with the French Volunteer Infantry. Yeah, obviously I don't want all of them. And I think these two together can actually hold in Bukukar because it's a city. So I actually think, as it is, they'll be able to do fine defending here. I have the ability, at least on paper, but not necessarily. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so the 35th Italian Corps can take the French Volunteer Infantry Regiment. Maybe, or actually now they're at 10, right? Yeah. Okay, crap. Just a moment too late, I remembered that because they're not Italian, it costs 2 instead of 1. Okay. It's not the best, but it allows me to take out the 298th Infantry Division. I'll probably send it up here so I can move down the other unit. So the 298th Infantry Division will help out with the defense over here, while I now have another infantry division to help in moving towards this area. I think they'll be fine. They're at 80 and they're at 91, so they should be able to hold there. No need in trying to make it into a fortress because they're right on the front line. I don't really like doing that if it's so close. Technically I can build 10 of those things, but I don't necessarily think that is a great idea at the moment, as I said before, but I think that looks pretty good. I have another Luftwaffe field division over here, and I mean, I cannot use it necessarily with the Italians, maybe with the Hungarians. I think actually I would enjoy having it on that stack there, because I already lost some on that position. And they're currently on Armago North, but then I'll put them under the 4th Hungarian Corps. And I'm not sure whether they have to be on refit. Yes, they do. They actually even have some Stugs. Oh. The anti-tank ones too. Either way, that should help it a little bit. Like, not that much yet, but it will get there. Maybe we'll get some reinforcements. Its combat prep will go up. I'm sure it helps a little bit, and I definitely do want things to work out a bit better that way. Now, currently, I did send these guys up here. But ultimately the question is, did I really need them? I guess because this core is overburdened, I kind of do. This is all construction battalions. And what do we have here? Just Army Group B. This is a bit of a predicament. I know I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing. I need to find a more structural way to do things, because I'm very often I'm just all over the place and I start doing things that I think are useful and things like that. But like for the moment, I should definitely just be looking at things like this, you know, moving these guys around. I don't know whether I already moved them. Well, certainly not the 304th Infantry Division here. And the question is, where am I going to put them? To be honest, I think getting them closer up to Stalingrad here might actually be a pretty good idea. And this turn they'll stay there, but later on it will certainly help. Anyway, that means that these are sent. I need to take a look at any other rail units that I currently have. There are no more Romanians. Can't move these. Other reinforcements from Berlin or Warsaw. I can move the OKH to Warsaw this time. Let's do that. And I have the 3rd Luftwaffe Field Corps. Now, I guess I'll be sending these to the Crimea, because I kind of feel like at this point I should be putting these under a corps anyway. And now that I have the 3rd Luftwaffe Field Corps, I can kind of re-put them under a corps. I did ultimately get an extra corps any which way. Does not seem like there are any other units in transit at the moment. I do have the 246th Infantry Division. But to be completely honest, I kind of feel like I need it around this area. It's kind of sucky to move it around like that. But I guess now it's close enough to the front that it can support there on the next turn. It's at 79, but I should still put it under a different core, I suppose. How is 9th Army overburdened? 3rd Panzer Army slightly less. So I should probably put it under something there. Which also means no, I'll keep it there, I think. I'll see. Also because I don't think these guys can do any more attacks, even from that side. I could move them to Olenina. Maybe it's for the better to help them just clear out this, because otherwise it will take too long. And I really need that cleared out. Let's send you to Belly at this point, so that these guys are also in supply. Like, I really need this gone, because this is a problem, so... yeah, I'm basically just busy with the rear area units for the moment, because I think I definitely need to pay attention to that too here. These two should stay in refit to some extent. Any other rear area units around here? That's just an air fleet, that's an army. The answer is no. I currently have no other units that are in the rear. First SS motorized brigade is just moving at the moment. Alright, and I don't need to have a unit in Tatsinskaya anymore. Technically not here either, but I don't think I can send them up. Alright. I can move ahead quite a bit. That is true. However, there is a unit in here. Tanks. Well, let's, I guess, send out the armor division, because I can send a 330th over here, and together with the Romanians launch an attack on this. 61st Reserve Rifle Division is helping out. Can we still make it? Yes, we can. That's a retreat. Not ideal. Better. These guys were pretty weak. Now, at this point, I could technically send these up. I need to make sure that these guys actually don't join in on the attack currently. That would be bad. Is there any way I can get any guys to get into the offensive together with them on a hard attack? I don't think I can, but it's kind of worth checking that out, even if it's just also about intel. Moving you here, I don't really like it. I'd rather move these guys to the other side and help here do their thing. But on the other hand, I also need to oust this. One, two, three, four, five. The problem with moving in here, ah, shit. Okay. That's fine. Ultimately, I wanted them to retreat. Obviously not a great way, and these guys will now have to refit their way out of there. They need to refit. They need to refit. I'm a little bit surprised they have so many units on reserve. But where is that? Now, taking up this here hex. I can see that the Volga runs through there. And, I mean, I would like to hold it, but we're pretty far out already. If I go into this hex, you see, I do now have a motorized unit that is free, and I think I will need to, if I want to go and get this rail line working, I'm gonna need to get at the very least troops up till here and block this. So what I'm gonna do is you guys also have probably the heavy panzer battalion. Yes, you do. Let's swing you over here. Get these guys out of there. There are air units here, which are on day only. Okay. Not super amazing. Let's actually go and take a look whether our fighters, they did not engage. But they did get ousted quite readily. I'm repairing as much rail as I can right now, because I know that I might not have another opportunity later. Now, I'm quite aware that these two units are very exposed now. We've seen that previously in with that panzer unit, which means that both of these at the very least need to be reinforced. Now, I did say I want to at the very least shift these guys over here. This is a pretty decent defense, or at least good enough to hold that position. And doing this also means that Stalingrad will certainly not be surrounded. At least for another turn. Next, I want to move the Luftwaffe Field Division up to Cherniskov. And I want to send at least one Romanian infantry division over to Surovikino. And I don't think I can send anything at Cherstachon, at least no... none of those units, and I don't think I can send any German units over there at the moment. One thing I can do is reinforce these guys with Viking. And reinforce these other guys here with the 8th Panzer Division. And what I'll do too, get you in here, 12 Panzer down, and put them on reserve over in this area. I will let them hold that position. In fact, no, I cannot send any more units, unfortunately. We'll see how that goes. Currently, I do have the Marco, Italian CCNN unit. Let's send it over here. And these guys have more oomph than these guys, so... What that also means, 19th Panzer still in refit over here. Any Romanians that I can spare, I'll send them to the east. However I can. And I'm also going to get some of the German units out. First of all, definitely 100th Jaeger. Actually, it cannot move in here. It will have to refit in here either way. I also want to get out 60th motorized. Let's start out there. And ideally, I would replace 76th Infantry Division as well. I could send you here. You here. That gets them from a 30 to a 37. They are now at 29. But I can send the Croatians over there. Now they're 35. This allows me to rotate out 60th, which is going here for refitting now. Now, if I'm exceptionally lucky and I can rebuild this rail line here, then in a turn or two, I might finally have my railroad into Stalingrad. But once again, it is not looking amazing. Now, I will get the 1st Slovakian Mobile Division, and I'm gonna relieve it of its support units, and I'm gonna send them over into this hex. If they want to attack it, they can. But the thing is, I don't want the rail unit to be misplaced immediately. There's another rail unit here, which I'm going to send to Morozovskaya, so it can also immediately... Can I actually send it up? Yes, I can. Okay, let's send it up to Chernitsov, work its magic, and it will stay there. Because I don't think this is going to get attacked with all of that other stuff. So this way, 100% I can fix that rail line next turn, and pray that I can get that second rail line working again. Because in case they actually do come from here and take Salsk, then at the very least I will have another railroad here. Very important, that, I think. Now the Romanian Armored Division is pretty poor at the moment. I'll keep it in Morozovskaya for refitting. Not even gonna put it on anything else here. This is closer to the river, so they can cross next turn potentially. And I still want to send you up to Kolach then. Yes. Then the cavalry can go in here. It probably doesn't even need refitting. 72, no, so it's good. You can get all the way into Stalingrad. Stalingrad currently is an X, yes, but some units aren't doing that well. 43, 54, 65th. I didn't get to encircle any forces around here. Which sucks. Which means this is turning to become a bit more of attrition. Now the Soviets do have a unit here too. But I'm gonna need to get a unit out, and that's like the 100th Jaeger is doing the worst. So I think they need to get out. Turn 95th in, which is at least a 4 strength. That potentially allows me to let's see. So tricky. I still have 14th Panzer. It can't really do a whole lot at the moment. And the big thing is, for me, I kind of feel like I need to encircle these guys so that they won't get aggressive on the next turn and cut my rail line here. And that's just kind of how I feel. But I see that once again it is time for me to wrap this one up. Yeah, that's how these things go. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna meet you on the next one then. So I want to thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please do consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care. See you then. Bye bye.